Right, as you know, folks, it's a Thursday night in Brisbane town. It's a rainy Thursday night in Queensland. It's 21 degrees, but it's feeling really cold. That's why we've got the jumper on today. And our co-host, of course, is in the UK, and her guest today is across the channel. Well, I could say the RSC, but in fact, it's across the English Channel in the Netherlands. But without further ado, shall I just hand it over to you, Priti, and then you can...
Okay, yeah. Yes. Hello, good morning. I'm completely delighted to be here, and I'm a little astonished that 21 degrees is pretty cold, because here it would be magnificent. But nonetheless, I accept that you need to wear a jumper today. I'm probably about, I don't know, 15 or 16 degrees. I'm very summerly dressed. There you go. That's the difference in environmental factors. Okay, so today I have Janette Derham is here to talk about from cell to soul, as in the tiniest part of our body, the cell, not SELL. We're not trying to sell you any cells, STEM or otherwise. So here we are. Welcome, Janette. Greetings from England to the Netherlands.
Greetings back. So great to be invited on here. Thank you.
Yes, and I like your name. You call yourself a longevity coach.
Yes.
So
yes,
it's not a term I'm familiar with, although I can get to grips with the language, being longevity coach. So stay here for as long as you like, is it? Or how would you describe it?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm nearly 64 years old, and I don't buy into aging and all of the diseases that come with aging. And I think you can actually stop the aging process and also reverse it if you know what to do. And I know what to do. So
tell.
yeah.
Come on, let it out.
It's very simple.
Okay.
Well, in the end, it is simple. I mean, it's taken me a lifelong journey to work out. Well, first of all, it's a mindset. So we're trained as, when we're young, that old age, you're old and you get all of these diseases. But in fact, it's a mindset. So I've decided to ignore all of that. I started actually, it was my late 40s, and I was, beginning the phase of the menopause phase of my life. So I made a decision then. I started doing health coaching courses, and I decided I'm just going to dance through my menopause. I am not going to get any of the things that you're supposed to get, because what happens is we collectively, as women, create it. So I had then twins in their teens. They were gaining hormones and I was losing hormones. So I didn't.
Seems like a perfect balance.
In fact, I was thinking of writing a book about this. And
hormones up, hormones down. Okay.
It worked. So I didn't, get all the hot flashes and put on the weight and, all those things still. And then I decided, well, I'll go and continue and, just not go into getting all of these diseases. But there is a little bit of work involved. And that is, first the mindset. So we've decided that's not going to happen. I don't mind getting old, but I don't want to get ill, because both my parents got ill. They shouldn't have, but that's another story. And I decided, well, what can I do? So I'm doing what needs to be done to not, because I think I love life. I absolutely love living in this earth, because I don't buy into this, kind of I'm done at 80 and I don't mind, no, I want to go on till 120, 100, 120, but healthy. because I love being in my 60s because I've got all the wisdom of being 60, but I also want the health of a 20, 30-year-old. Would you all want that?
Perfect
I'd say you would.
combination.
Yeah. So that's going to be my legacy. So I better keep to my own word. Have another interview with
You've
you.
said
Teach
it
you
now,
how to
haven't you?
stay. Yeah, teach you
Right.
to stay alive, and we'll have another interview when we're all 120. Is that a deal?
Well, I'm going for 600, mate.
Good for you.
You've no ambition, Janette, not like our Jeffrey. Genius. So just pick a number, isn't it? That's fantastic.
Oh,
I
I'll
love
go
the
for
idea of that.
601 then.
She's already put the gauntlet down to outlive you, Jeff. Fantastic. Okay, and you'll be playing volleyball as
602.
well at 599. Get out there and give the ball a good bash. Fun. I love it. I love it. So, now that you've started to teach other people what to do, is there something in that you teach what you need to learn, so that you yourself are learning more and more in order to prolong or increase the number from, well, what number did you start with? You're heading towards 600 now.
Yeah, 601. 602. I'm going to outlive Jeffrey. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so you bypassed menopause. You still kept your body shape. You know, you're still a size 12.
10.
10.
Oh.
Still perky.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a bit of Irish in you, so it's all happening. And now it's living in the good life in the Netherlands. So I take it it's a diet as well as mental conditioning.
Well, it's mainly mindset. So for a while I worked I ran a lunch cafe, an organic lunch cafe, and I was observing people coming in, and I thought they should look healthy, but they don't. So that's when I started my journey of learning about health. So I did several courses, and I discovered it was actually to do with creating a balance in your life. So actually food is your secondary food and lifestyle is your primary food. So the new medicine now is called lifestyle medicine. So, and everybody's different. There's a great word called bio-individuality. So what works for me may not work for you. So a lot of it is mindset. And also what's really freed me up is that I did transformational learning, which was to go and discovered the blind spots that were creating my life and keeping me in prison. And these were actually playing out my whole life. So I've actually discovered how to find or to see the blind spots. What you don't know, and to let them go. Yeah. That has been huge. Yeah. So.
Right. So what did you call it? Lifestyle medicine or lifestyle food?
Well, it's called now lifestyle medicine. So rather than calling it, medicine is a word that can be thrown around in the health industry. So lifestyle medicine is basically looking at all areas of your life, not just what you eat, but what you think, how you, your spiritual life, your social life, your financial life. All of them need to be in balance. And if one is not in balance, so if you're living very healthy, but you're very lonely, that's not going to, the food's not going to be absorbed into your cells because, and what works for somebody it doesn't work for somebody else. I tend to follow one of the diets. It's called the Know Your Blood Group diet. So so that means that when I have a blood group and you have a different one maybe, so you would look at what suits you better. And we know we have an innate intelligence, and if we were to actually really, tap into that instead of doing what we're told. I think that's what makes it simple, really, in the end. We know.
So in the lifestyle medicine, it's a bit getting an image of the bagua, so that you have the 8 different centers of the home. So in feng shui, you have the career, spirituality, ancestors, children, creativity, relationships, fame, reputation, money. This whole kind of categories that you can look at. Is that
Yeah.
something similar to lifestyle that you'd incorporate?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be similar. Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. And so we are all individual, which is a very nice way of saying that we've got a unique body with unique everythings. Is that right?
Yeah. 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 We're all, very, unique. So,
Mm-hmm. So how do we create these blind spots? And talk to us a little bit more about the 6 pillars. We've got it here. Wow. Okay, stress management. Avoiding risky substances. Very good. Very good. Wow. Okay. Did you find that, Jeff?
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. So now we know. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit more about the blind spot that you talked about, and perhaps if you don't mind revealing how you uncovered some of yours and how you dealt with them?
Yes. So there is a course I was actually avoiding to do for 20 years because I had this idea that I didn't need it. And it's called transformational learning. And I did the
Transformational.
course. Yeah, well, it's not the name of the course, but that's what it stands for. And last year, I decided, a beautiful soul that I'd met on a network meeting. He invited me to do an introduction, and I did the course, and it's 3 days, a 3-day course, and I'd done so many courses in the past. Like, I've spent a fortune, and I could not find a way out of this prison I was in from my past. There was, I grew up in Dublin, large Irish family, very much, it was like poverty consciousness was in my DNA. Money's the root of all evil. And there was no future for us, and we lived in fear. I mean, there were a lot of lovely things that happened, but there was a lot of stuff, and inheriting mental illnesses in the family. It was, it was a dysfunctional youth. At the same time, there was a lot of love in my family, but that saved us all. But like everyone else, we all have our story. So I couldn't seem to find a way to release those things that happened because I didn't know. I didn't know it was gone. It was somewhere. It was like gone in my subconscious. I didn't know what was creating my future. So during the course, around the 3rd day, suddenly the penny dropped. Now, it's not like as if suddenly you do a course and you're all done and dusted. They teach you the tools. So I realized that things that happened in my youth, but I'd created a story around them. So I'll just give you an
Right.
example.
Yeah.
When I was little, I was the 4th of 6 children, and my mother had twins, and then she had my sister, and then she had me, and then that was pretty, she had 4 children under 5, but then she'd a break before my brother, and she'd 3 years kind of having me at home, and she pretended I was her only child, and I was like, it's like I was her little girl. And she took me to school one day. And I felt like arrived in this school, and there was this really ugly teacher, and I was really scared. And during the course, the 3 days, I saw myself there as a child, and seeing my mother, I can actually see what she was wearing, walking away and leaving me there. I resented my mother my whole life. I made a story around the fact that I hated school, which I did, and I didn't fit in. I didn't fit in anywhere. I really hated school all my life. And I realized during that 3 days that I'd made a story around something that just happened. My mother brought me to school. In those days, she didn't stay. I created a drama, a story around it my whole life. When I realized that, I can't even remember what it's like to resent my mother. She's 95 in a few months. I love her to bits. Now, can you imagine? My whole life was about that moment. And that's many of those moments. That's just giving you an example of one.
Okay.
And so,
And
yeah,
so once you'd realized that the story was just a story,
yeah,
it was able to be, folded up and put away,
yeah,
put back on the bookshelf like any other book and story that anyone would read.
yeah. So I realize now we
Ah,
create stories around things that happen. And
okay.
the stories become so big that we start, like, say, one of the things that breaks my heart is families breaking up. You see it happening where a couple, they divorce and one decides to want to really get back at the other, right? So they create a story around that person with the kids, and they become so believing of the story to turn that the children against another parent. And I think it's the most unloving thing you could ever do, just to get revenge on that parent.
Yeah.
And then what happens is later on in life, you make yourself believe that the story is real, because what if you were to give up that story? You can't. People would rather die being right than giving up the story, because you'd realize that you've spent your whole life doing something that is so, yeah, it's devastating. So that's just one example of what that's really one of my most makes me the saddest of all, is seeing families break up, and it's becoming worse as it's for anything, it's crazy. Families break up because, I don't know, it's like there's no people. I admire people who stay together these days. Yeah.
Well,
I
it
could
does
go
go
on for
against the
hours
grain.
about my transformational experience.
Yeah. So really, it's about, from what you've said, is identifying the story that's holding you back, or that you're uh, confirming over and over again. So it's a reiteration of exactly the same thing, and the more and more you do it, the more and more it's believable to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it's
And
the
it's
most fascinating thing it's released to me. Every day I see the, what the scenarios, and I can let it go. And I mean, we're riddled with blind spots, but it's to have the tools to be able to, be able to see them and let them go is huge. It's like I found finally the key to happiness and freedom.
through stories, or the
Well,
releasing
yeah,
of stories.
my
And
sister
so
did the
tell me,
course as well. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And so when you do this, tell me, do you take a step back further and not only look at the stories that are in your life, but the stories that are going on in the media, the other stories? Can you see them as stories
Yeah.
and not buy into them? Simple as that.
I don't believe any of the stories I hear, um, because it's just like we're living in a fake world. We're eating fake food. We're becoming fake people, processed people. And AIs. It's absolutely it's a nutty world we're living in. So just as well that I'm nutty to be able to deal with it. Um, a nutty Irish
So do you
woman.
think that is that the prerequisite of living a good life, a good happy life, is to be a little bit nuts, a little bit nutty?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so blessed I'm Irish with a great sense of humor. I inherited
Oh,
great
yeah. Well, they're
my
they're great storytellers, the Irish, aren't they?
oh yeah. I've a great I come from a great stock, as they say. Very, very joyful, funny people. I feel very blessed that and my son, who's half Dutch, he's inherited my humor. We have such fun together. Thank God I've got one person in the family.
And so tell me, have you been to Castle Blarney and kissed the Blarney Stone, or do you not need to?
I don't fancy kissing a stone that millions of people have kissed. Blech. It's very touristy as well. No. Have you?
Okay. No, I got to the top and I thought, I'm not doing that. You must be joking. I have enough story inside of me as well. So I didn't do it, but I got there,
Yeah,
but I didn't actually make it. So moving on a little bit more back to where we were talking about your transformational learning and the blind spots. So blind spots kind of equate to stories, really. Or there's
Yeah.
And these days you're doing is it a weekly podcast for people's, like a free health clinic? What's that all about?
Oh, wow. Talk about being in the zone. Well,
Oh, in the zone.
in the zone, yeah. So my big passion is well, it's all about, creating health and happiness. And till your last breath, which is basically, again, going back to the blind spots. If you can, there's much more involved in that transformational learning than that. It's the whole learning's based on living a life of integrity and authenticity, and cleaning up your life now, so that on your last breath you can just lie down and close your eyes with a smile on your face. Because when we're dying, it's too late to call that person, to ask, for forgiveness or whatever it is. Do it now. So that's my big thing. And every Sunday with, may I mention her name, your wonderful friend,
why not? Yes.
Dr. Merlee Harris, who I love, one of the people I love most in this world. She represents to me the most. She's given up her life for humanity, and look at how she looks. She talk about longevity. She looks stunning for her age. She's lived. She's walked the talk. And my dreaming the dream, was to always have a deep dive of health, me as the health coach and her as the doctor, so we could give advice to people. And finally, we've put it together. So every Sunday, sacred Sunday, between 7 and 8, she gives an hour of her time for free, and helps people with their health challenges. And there's a lot of people with around, it's getting more and more. And then she also offers a 20-minute free intake. I mean, it's just beautiful. So I do my little, thing and explain the whatever supplements or that need to be explained to, that's wrapped around whatever subject we're doing. And this Sunday it's about sleep. And she then goes, into telling people what they can do. But if it's a serious thing, she'll, do one-on-one. So, yeah, because, she saves lives of people who nowhere else to go. Not all of them, but she saves a lot of them. So I'm absolutely thrilled. I just hope we can keep doing this till I'm 602. She's definitely going to live till 602.
Oh, genius, Janette, genius. So this is it called Sacred Sunday?
Well, no, I gave it that name because I love. It's so weird because, in the beginning I thought, oh, Sunday's not such a good day. But now that we're doing it, it actually is the best time because it's just before the beginning of the week. So it kind of sets the stage. I was like on a high last Monday and I was thinking, what's going on? Why am I feeling so great on a Monday? And I realized it was because of that hour. It's much more than just health advice. There's a kind of a sacred space. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
It's the best thing I've ever done.
Is this the lady?
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, that's her. And
Okay.
that's her.
Okay.
She's stunning, Jeffrey, in every way. I mean, so yeah, gonna keep this momentum going, and yeah, this is just
And
Mm-hmm.
so if someone wants to hop onto your podcast or what would they do on a Sunday?
Well, they would. I can send you afterwards the link for it. I do an invitation every week with the subject, so it would be a
Okay.
Zoom link. Yeah.
All
So
right.
we would love to get mainly, like, I just want to share and share and share and share. We get hundreds of people on there eventually because so many people don't know where to go. And we eventually
Mhm.
can get a team of, doctors like Merlee, because she can't do it all on her own. So we can have a ripple effect and help as many people as we can. It would be fantastic to live happy and healthy to 100, 602 and beyond. Yeah. Gosh, to change my my website.
Changed your vibe completely, hasn't it?
It's all your fault, Jeffrey. It's up to 600.
It is,
Oh
yeah.
my God. What'll we look like when we're
So
600?
pretty much what we are like now, and we'll have beautifully hydrated skin, and it'll be lovely and
Yes.
plump, and we'll be 20-year-old, 600-year-olds. So just keep that in mind, and you'll be fine. Just look at yourself at 20 and just keep projecting. I think we'll go well. So you talk about nutritional supplements to speed up the healing process. So
Yes.
is the healing process for you all about getting the right story?
Right. So I'll give you a little background regarding one of the most profound experiences I've ever had in my health education. Would you like that?
Okay. Yes, please.
Right. So about 15 years ago, I was invited to a talk in Amsterdam, and it was an American couple, and he stood up and started telling us about a missing link in our food. His wife was very ill. They were a Mormon couple, and nothing helped her. She tried supplements, lived a very healthy life. They had their own organic garden. She ended up in a wheelchair till he came across this little science that wasn't known then called the science of glycobiology. Have you ever heard of it?
No, but
This is
from the title,
fascinating.
I can.
This is actually, when I saw the talk, I was like sitting there going like, oh my gosh. Right. So if we go back to the 70s, they discovered they had a microscope that they invented that could see cells better, So when they looked at the cells, they saw around the cells as kind of a halo and little hairs, right? And they never realized that. They thought, what's that stuff around the cells? We've 80 trillion cells in our bodies, right? They discovered that these hairs were actually, they're called glyconutrients. And they're little antennas, like, your phone has an antenna. And it's full of this beard. Every cell has got a beard with a code, which is just you, like, say, Pauline, all little Pauline cells. And the code are all Paulines, right? And the antennas is what actually decides what goes into our cells and not. So if there's any kind of disease or any kind of, we've got bacteria or things that aren't meant to be there, there's these little things called macrophages that eat it up in the hairs, so they don't enter the cell, right? So it's supposed to be like, as in very hairy, beautiful hairy cells. But what's happened is, because our nutrition, our soil is depleted, everything's, been altered food, called food-like substances. If you go into a supermarket now, it's not food. It looks like food, but it's not. And we know all of that. We don't have to go into the details there. In the 50s, you could eat one peach, and now you'd need 50 to get the same amount of nutrition. Yeah. So what's happened is, our cells are going bald. Now, if you can imagine, right, there's your body with all these cells, beautiful hairy cells, and you're not getting nutrition, so they start losing the hair. So Pauline loses a P. So Pauline becomes Auline, right? So Auline says, hey guys, I want to be part of you. And Pauline's cells goes, we don't recognize you. Who are you? So what happens to Auline? Auline goes off and starts its own little army. And that's the beginning of autoimmune, the war within, right? So we start falling apart. So the cells, the hairs it's like Velcro that keeps the cells together. We're kept together. It's very logical, this. So now it's becoming mainstream because it's done. Well, they have a nutrition for this, a company. The man who actually discovered this has actually put the full nutrition to bring the hairs back in the cells, and the light, because we're light beings, right? So because it's not known by the masses, we're still educating people, and education is the key. So I am educating people regarding this missing link. And the man that I saw has written a book. It's something like There's an Elephant in the Room. It's a really thick book, all about the missing link. His name is Larry Law. He's given his whole life to going around the world and sharing this information as I share it with you.
All right. Well, Jeff has just asked, what's the name of the cell? The one
cell
with the hairy, just cell.
It's all your cells, your hairy cells.
Yeah.
So that's why I call my
presentation from cell to soul.
Soul, yeah, because we're light beings. So if you bring the light back into the cell, we become more light. You see?
Okay. So
you can actually see. I'll send you a video. You can see the light around each cell. I'll send you a little video at the end, Pauline.
Thank you. Yes, we'll put that in, and anyone else who wants to have a look at it, it will be in the resources. Yeah, great. And so from cell to soul.
What's the name of the cell? What's the name of that cell? You called it glyso something or other.
Oh yeah. So it's the science of
biology.
Yeah. So let's go. Just one little thing I want to share with you. Well, a big thing is I'm sure you all know about Bruce Lipton.
Yeah.
Bruce Lipton wrote a book, The Biology of Belief. He was a doctor who discovered that our genetics are not set in stone, that epigenetics is our thoughts create our reality. So that's paralleling with this blind spot idea. Everything happens in your youth. Most things that happen from 0 to 7 are set in stone, and it plays out in your future. So those little hairs are the epigenetics, because they're going to give the information, your thoughts, the environment, everything will go through those little hairs into your cells. So we have to watch what we think, because everything we think becomes reality. We create reality through our thoughts. Better clean up our thoughts, huh?
Yeah.
But it's our subconscious thoughts that are playing out. But I'm sure, it's nothing new to you guys.
All right. So it was the science of glycobiology that inspired all of this. The science of glycobiology.
Yeah.
And within that science, there's a picture of a cell with
so if you go into PubMed or anything, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of paid reports, or all sorts of white pages, and it's a science, but I think it's beginning now to really hit the mainstream. I kind of got worn out going on the road trying to tell people about this when there's a very small audience. I've been talking to a very small audience for years, because there you go, that's it.
Yes. The elephant in the room.
And she's better. She has her own. It's called Angie's Options. Angie's Options is her website, and they're a fabulous couple. Yeah. So to me, that's the missing link. It's not in our food anymore. Okay. So we need to supplement.
So the missing link is is, if you like, it's the hair growth around the cells.
Yes. Now, another thing I
and
want to say is that if you have your cells hairy and they're you know, they're complete, all the other nutrients get in. So if your cells aren't, you know, healthy, all of what you take in your supplementation in your food won't go into your cells. So that's why you need this nutrition first.
Okay, excellent. So
Yeah,
we'll be on here.
I have a beautiful presentation about it, showing all of the different, you know, the nutrition and what it does. It's great, and it changed everything for me. When I saw that, I realized, yeah, that's
So you weren't
yeah.
letting in the good stuff into the cells for the cells to live their life and be healthy and happy.
Well, look around you. Look at what we're eating. We're eating food that has no nutrition, and look what's happening to humanity. You know, there's young people getting old people's diseases now. You know, supermarkets, there's no food in the supermarket.
Okay,
Organic,
so
well,
this is this the what is epigenetics? So if people
yeah,
want to find out,
epigenetics is fascinating. And in fact,
yeah,
when you understand that it's, you know, as I say, the missing link, and also that our thoughts create a reality, and how the thing is, we can know all of this. I knew all of this for years, but I didn't know how to get rid of my blind spots. But I know now.
okay. So
Which is why I know I
the
can live a long and healthy and happy life with this information. Huh?
all right. So the key to the getting rid of your blind spots is just seeing it as a story
Well, yeah, I think, you
and
know, to
and
tell you the
releasing
truth,
that story.
I would, yeah, recommend speaking to like a coach who's been doing this transformational learning for a long time first. There's people who've been
Okay.
doing this for 30 to 40 years. And, you know, I'm pretty new, but I have a woman in Ireland, a fabulous woman who's a veteran in this area. She's been my coach, helping me through, because I've had a lot of breakdowns in the last year, because when you start seeing you know, things that come up, and you also kind of have to take responsibility for things you've done to people that you didn't know you did. You know, it's not always, yeah, but that's good. It's because you can actually make, you know, it's called completing. Say, Pauline, if I'd done something, you told me something in confidence, and I told somebody else, right? I would come back and say, listen, Pauline, you know, I wanted to tell you that I apologize that I didn't keep my word. And you might say, well, some friends of mine go like, well, Janette, I can't forgive you and I never want to see you again. But that's okay. Or they might say, okay, I really appreciate it. And then we become friends again.
Okay.
But I don't point the finger at them. I don't say, well, it's because you did that, or you. No, no, no. It's got nothing to do with them. It's to do with me taking responsibility for things I did, but I didn't know. That's
So
huge.
it opens up the I don't know what I didn't know, and it
Well, yeah,
lessens the size of that.
you're not feeling kind of like bad because you didn't know. Like, say, with my partner, one day I came into his house and I had the phone on, and I said, go say hello to this person. And one day he said to me, you know, I don't like the way you come into my house and just take over. And the old me would get really upset, and I'd go out the door and relationship be over. He'd be wrong and I'd be right. But I went back. I did leave. And then I went home and I went like, oh gosh, I better go back and ask him what I did. And he says, well, Janette, you know, you don't respect my space. And I said, you know, I want to apologize to you, I said, because this is a blind spot. I grew up in a large family. We didn't respect our space at all. And then we fixed it just like that.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, and I'm imagining a little bit further along into your journey from. Okay, come on. You've kicked Jeff off. He's having a good clear. Share the chuckle, please, Jeff.
Well, traditionally in those situations, it's make up sex, isn't it? It happens, isn't it?
Just fixed it.
Yeah.
We can stop now.
Hey, I have to say, Janette, I mean, in Hawaii, the medicine man or medicine woman in the tribe will gather people around. Say, for example, young Johnny there's gone and knocked off a push bike, and the family whose push bike's been stolen gets up in arms and all that stuff. And so they come around to the chief's place, and the medicine man says, "Okay, now, little Johnny, what did you knock off that push bike for?" "Well, Mum got really, really crook, and I need to get down to the chemist to go and get some tablets, and so that Mum would get over it." And so I grabbed the push bike. "Where's the push bike now?" "Oh, I put it behind the house of where I got it from." "Oh, okay." So it's all sorted, based on the fact that they'll get the whole community around to talk about it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the other thing, of course, is attitudinal healing in the respects of pictures tell 1,000 words. So you bring up the actual picture of the situation, and then you go and change the actual words that are associated with the picture. For example, if I was to give you a postcard of a couple, husband and wife, or male and female, sitting there at a little coffee school down there in the street of Paris looking at the Eiffel Tower, it doesn't matter what language you speak on the planet, everybody knows that you're in the street in Paris looking at the Eiffel Tower with a cup of coffee. So it doesn't matter what language, it's just that the picture tells 1,000 words. And then we go to those other people who've now gone into hypnosis and doing family constellations and going deep within the actual recesses of the mind to do the hypnosis on the situation and changing and reframing it. But I have to go back about 12 years ago, and a lady in the Gold Coast in Queensland here, she was a trance medium, and she bought this Egyptian called Min. And Min, she said, "I've been told to step back and allow Min to do the meditation." And so Min came through, and he said, "Today's meditation is about going within and switching off the death gene."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was quite profound to go in and then switch it off.
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine that's a prerequisite of living to 602 or 3. You need to go in and switch off that death gene.
Well, they've already done that, mate. So, but I have to say, there's some of those masters have manifested on my back deck, and they're over 2,000 years old, mate.
Oh, wow.
So do people see them in physicality?
We don't need to die, yeah?
None
we
of
don't
us
need to die. No.
Yeah. Well, the game plan, as I see it, is that if you've got that process, and if you can, turn water into wine and get loaves of bread, I mean, the game plan there as well. Yeah, you can do that. Why can't I manifest a glass of water, or why can't I manifest a sandwich, or why can't I manifest some coins to pay, or why can't I just relocate my physical body from Brisbane to Netherlands, just like that?
Yeah.
Why not? The game plan is what's stopping us from doing it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, make the free phone call.
Beam me up, Scotty. Beam me up, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I think you have to visualize where you need to go, eh? So if you've never been to that place, then you need to actually get some point of recognition or reference point. So if you know someone like Janette, then you'd see Janette, and then you'd actually manifest alongside her.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. I can see that happening.
Yeah, when you're in Janette's environment, then you can look around and then you clock it. Then you know where you can actually manifest without interrupting Janette when she's having breakfast or something.
Well,
there's something
it's interesting about longevity. We become wiser. I love being in my 60s, because I've had a very exciting life up to now. And, there's a wisdom of the years. But can you imagine, like, and then of course our society pushes us aside. It's like, now you're old. But can you imagine if we were to just, I'm not going there either. I think that's just absolute brainwashing, you know, to the Western world. But you can imagine if we were to get even wiser and we're healthy, what we can create with that wisdom, you know. So it's our time, really, it is. I think I'm just beginning. What do you think?
Yeah. So 60 is the new 20.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. And you do also bioresonance as well. You mentioned to me before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never experienced bioresonance that I am aware of. So
Yeah.
what
Well,
would happen if I
basically,
was to come to you for bioresonance?
well, I work with light frequency because we're beings of light. So it's a software where I use headphones, so the frequency goes through your ears and scans your whole body. So I can show you your body from the inside. I mean, not your own, but you know, photos of all areas of your body, everything, even down to, you know, bacteria, parasites, and I can show you where the inflammation is. So inflammation is disease. So inflammation is the fire within. So your cells are red. You know, you cut yourself, you get red. So we want to take out the fire. So the way I see it is, you know, like a forest fire starts somewhere. So say diabetes, it can start 30 years beforehand, and then it gets a little fire, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and that fire spreads. So what I do with this scanner is I find where the source of the fire is in your body, and then we take it out, you know, with a fire hose, well, in the form of advice. And that's all, again, down to bio-individuality. So, and then I wrap around the advice around that person and what they can handle, you know, because some people find, you know, this very new and very weird because they're used to doctors and medical world. And I also will give them advice, even if it's down to one of the most healthiest things you can do in the morning is drink a glass of water to detox your brain. All your brain has detoxed a lot, you know, so just to get rid of, flush out all of the toxins, little things like that. And that's yeah, I love doing the scans. Yeah.
So have there been any surprises in the ones that you've done?
Yeah, when it gets, I won't tell them, I'm not a doctor, but when I see things that are, you know, pretty serious, if people have a lot of bacteria and parasites in their body, I will tell them to go to a professional. So the man who trained me in this, he's actually goes all around Ireland and England doing scans. I would refer them to him because you know, if it gets serious, or I would tell them to go and get checked, say if their heart is inflamed or their kidneys, to get medical advice. So yeah, because the medical world, if we were to work together, it would be great, rather than you know, the medical world is there and we're here because we need them and they need us, I'd say. Yeah.
So we all need stories, do we?
What was that?
I said, do we all need stories? Medical stories, other kinds of stories?
Well, yeah, some people like being sick because it gets them attention, huh? And you come with a solution, you go, no, I don't want to get better, then nobody will pay me attention. I don't have my story anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's something underlying that, of course. That's the blind spot that's playing out, but they don't see it. So
so that it could be that story of I'm sick and I need attention started when they weren't getting attention between the age of 0 and 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah, like an example is I have a sister, my younger sister, she suffered from night terrors her whole life, like really severe. And her story was, I can't survive, I'm going to die, my heart's going to give up. And I love her, we're very close. So I found a technology that really helped her. It's light and sound technology in the form of glasses. So it kind of trip switched. Yeah, brilliant. And I thought I'd bring them out to the world too, but people, yeah, it's again, I think I'm too early with a lot of my wonderful, I've got a whole health chest of most amazing technologies that work. But anyway, she used the glasses, but it didn't get rid of them completely. She went on this 3-day course, and I knew, right, first of all, I would go home to Ireland, and she'd tell me all about, and I can't sleep, and this, and she would have situations with her daughter, and situations with her husband, and it went on, and the stories would be told each time. And I said to her, Linda, do this course. She was sitting in the course, and the first couple of days she's putting her hand up. You can put your hand up to share your story, right? So she was like, listen to me, and nobody listened to her. And she was thinking, nobody's going to help me. I've got something nobody has. Nobody's been able to help me for years. And then suddenly on the 3rd day, she started laughing. She realized that she'd actually invented this story around her life. And since then, she barely has a night terror. Her relationship with her daughter's improved, with her husband's improved, with me and her. We coach each other now, because when she goes into her story and I go into mine, we go, hey, they call it an act, your act. So I'm having the best time with my sister. I don't dread going home and hearing this story anymore.
Because it's a bit of a pantomime, is it?
Well, yeah, it's because we want to feel, well, her story comes back to when she was a child. She feels this was her story. She was abandoned. Nobody paid her any attention. I'm on my own, and I know parents, and you were all, and I was the youngest, and we all know the people who tell their stories. And poor, pitiful me, I'm the victim.
It's either a comedy or a tragedy, isn't it? One or the other.
Well, yeah, I think,
Anyway.
Eckhart Tolle, he tends to laugh at, gosh, I mean, you don't want to laugh at people, but sometimes you feel like it, because you just hear them and you're going like, and then they get really upset with you because they think you're laughing at them. But it's because you're just thinking, when are you going to give that story up? Anyway.
Right. Because you have a good system inside of you that sees it as stories, and they don't know that it's a story.
They love their story. I loved mine. Yeah. I loved my stories. Yeah.
No,
drove everybody mad.
In today's Western world, it's all about, I want to play the victim role, isn't it? They don't want to take responsibility and authority on their own outcome. They always blame someone else.
Yeah. And complaining is a real, gossiping, I learned in the course, is a real addiction. I'm trying not to, but it's hard to give up the gossiping because it's nice sometimes. Complaining, I complain about complainers, which is complaining too, which is not really the way to go. But I do my best every day to become a better version of myself.
Wow, that's so, yes, very, very good. And if you do that for yourself, and that's what you're doing, you're going to project that onto the people that come to you, and they in turn can become a better version of themselves if they want.
Yeah, if they want. And I used to be scared of attack. Like I used to feel I didn't fit in, and people would eventually turn against me. Somehow I felt certain fakeness because I was kind of fake. I didn't know. I became this person to survive. And now that I've let that go, I don't really mind what people think anymore. That's huge. I don't mind what you both think of me, really.
Yeah.
You can think whatever you
I
like
like
of me.
that. I like that expression. I don't mind people think. That's great. That's so cute. People think, yeah, okay, it's a bit, people think is another story.
Yeah, another story. Well done, Pauline. You're right. It's another story. Yeah.
In Australia, we just say what other people think of me is none of my business.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a very serious way, but yeah, I like that. What people think of me is none of my business. Good one. Yeah.
Yeah. And if people want to talk about you, you must be interesting enough to be talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Why are you looking the other way there, Jeff?
Oh no, I was just thinking of England. It's got a reputation for being whinging, isn't it?
Oh, yes, in
Oh,
Australia.
everywhere. Everywhere. It's a
Whinging
whinging
Poms,
world.
eh?
The whinging world we're living in.
Okay. Well, I think we can leave the whinging well behind and see if we can finish on something that's really pretty positive. So I wondered, what took you to the Netherlands?
Oh
It
my
seems
God. I'll do a real fast story around that one. But first of all, I
okay.
just want to say to you, it's a very special day. My father would have been 100 today.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
ah,
And I'm actually feeling really sad because he was a spiritual man, a very gentle man, and he committed himself to his family, to community. He was amazing, and yeah, I could talk just about him for the next hour, but I won't. But he he left a wonderful legacy behind, and we're continuing his legacy, and that is to bring people together, community.
well,
Yeah,
yeah. So
he was
he was
big into
born in
community.
1926, then, the
Yeah,
same year that
yeah.
the Queen was born in 1926.
He
My
should
mother
be
too
alive.
was born in
Oh,
1926.
really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. We'll
Yeah,
have
he
to
should
wait
be
for a
alive.
couple of years.
But he was very healthy, but the medical world made a mistake, and he's gone. That's kind of sad. Yeah.
Now,
But
what about the Rife machine? Do you get into have one of those?
yeah, the person who teaches me about the light frequency, he has Rife. It's all me. He's got all these ancient machines. He's an amazing guy. Yeah, he makes all these sacred geometry. Like I've got one of his beautiful harmonizer. It protects my whole energy field. Yeah, Rife is like Tesla. But anyway, back to the Netherlands, right? So
Mhm.
when I was 22, I was working as a lab technician for Bailey's Irish Cream. Do you remember Bailey's?
We know a little bit about that.
And,
Ir-
and
Irish
yeah,
Irish coffee in a jar.
yeah. So after 3 years, I was a lab technician. I got this little piece of paper saying in the year 2026, when I retire, which would have been 64, 65, that I'd be earning so much. And I was like looking at this piece of paper going like, is this my life? Am I like, that's it? Because in Ireland, there was no work then, and I had a good job, and everything was all, paved out. So I quit my job and went to Australia. And I went with two women I didn't know. And after 6 weeks, I was on my own. I tell you, I shouldn't be alive. I had the most amazing time in Australia. It wasn't easy because I was on my own, but I survived, and I motorbiked around Australia. I lived everywhere. I slept under the stars in the rainforest. I should have been bitten by redback spiders, and I jumped into the rivers and the lakes. I didn't know. I thought crocodiles were in zoos. I'm glad I didn't know, Jeffrey, because if I had, I wouldn't have done all those crazy things. Yeah, it was great. 5 years I lived in Australia, and then
Oh,
I
very.
came back like the prodigal daughter. I'd saved money. I came back and all my money was stolen in Singapore. I came home with nothing, literally. It was terrible, but won't go there.
Mm.
And then I went and lived in New York. Then I went and came back to Ireland and started a carpet cleaning business. Don't ask me how I ended up doing that. My father's a crazy idea. So I ended up becoming franchisee of the year in 1992. It's Chem-Dry carpet cleaning. It was franchise. And I won a prize to go to Mexico to a conference. And I met a
Ah.
Dutchman there. And he chased
Uh-oh.
after me all week. I
Uh-oh.
wasn't interested in men anymore. I was fed up with men. No men. I didn't want to do no more men. So he finally kind of, prized through my big, I had a concrete wall, around my heart. And we moved he lived in the States and for years, and we moved to Holland and had twins together. They're nearly 25, boy and a girl. And he actually
Wow.
has become an invalid. We haven't been kind of a couple, as in married couple, but we're great mates. He's an invalid, and we kind of take care of him, and yeah. So there you go. There's my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So
stem
have you?
cells, is that
What?
using stem cells? Is that a feature for your hubby?
Yeah. Not everybody's open to, new things, so I have to respect where they're at. I have presented it, but yeah, he's like still stuck in that what the medical world will tell him to do, like my father. So I can't. I try, but it doesn't go. Yeah, you can't.
So
Can only help the people who want to be helped. Yeah.
Well, it comes back to that whole program. If someone wants to come to get healed, I've learnt you just say, "Do you wish to be healed?" But
Yeah.
I do it by thought first, and then if I don't get any action, then I'll actually verbalize it. But after that, I'll then say, "Do I have your permission to heal you?" So you may not be the appropriate healer because they just want to go, as you mentioned before, to go around all these different places so that they get love and attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you haven't been able to penetrate his story as to why he's the invalid that he is at the moment.
He did do the transformational learning course, but it still hasn't. I think something happened in his youth that's under lock and key. It goes so deep. I call him the post-war generation. So a lot of stuff happened. That's kind of, yeah. Some people don't want to go there, or yeah. So yeah, I have to respect that.
Erin, yeah.
And there is a ripening process that's always taking place, that when the time is ripe, the door will open.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But I do have a relationship with this wonderful man, Dutch man, and the love of my life. Finally met the love of my life. It's never too late.
One of those.
And besides, you got another 500 years with this guy.
I don't mind.
Or is it 540?
It's funny when you live when you meet the love of your life. Time doesn't, really is an issue anymore. Huh?
True.
Okay.
Have you met the love of your lives?
Yeah, I've met a few.
You had a few.
So it can't be the love of your life. It's a singular thing, is it? When you meet, or is that just a female thing, that it's the love of your life? But
Well,
I
it's the
like
love
that
of your life is
I've met
yourself,
a few.
really. When you
Yes.
fall in love with yourself, it's actually the soulmate is within. But when that's complete, then you meet somebody who's also complete, then it becomes a really nice relationship. Yeah.
Yes.
I was always searching. I was searching for love in all the wrong places. Searching for love.
Yeah.
That sounds like the beginning of a song.
It was. It is.
It was.
Oh.
And
Okay.
the other
good.
song is, I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me. Do you remember that one?
No.
I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me. I've forgotten the name of the lady who sung that, but yes, I do remember it. Probably 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Very, very good. So is there something that you might offer to people as an introduction to, and the first step on the yellow brick road to their longevity and to their life of happiness? Where would you start? Where's the first step?
Well,
how do they get hold of you? That'd be and I'll put it up.
I've actually, I've had I had a business before this in air and water purification, so I closed down the website. I'm in the middle of making a new website, which should be ready by next week, which is just JanetteDerham.net. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that really the greatest gift for people would be to be invited to the deep dive with Dr. Merlee. I think that's it's working, and I think that would be the way for us to go forward. Anybody you know that could do with some help, start there.
Yeah. Okay, and so that's the podcast, or the podcast on Sunday.
It's a live call in. Yeah.
And how do people get to join that?
Well, I put it invitation every week with like this Sunday. A very good friend of mine who's a well-known sleep coach is coming on. So I will put her, and I have to put that invitation together today, hopefully, and then I can send it on to you, Pauline.
Okay, and then we can put it on Radio FM, and if people want to join in, they can.
That would be great.
Does that sound all right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Well, what is it now? Put on now.
So I'll put the invitation together with the Zoom link from 7 to 8 UK time on a Sunday. And as it progresses, as I say, we can't have, it would be very taxing on Merlee to be doing this for everyone all the time. We will find coaches and functional medicine doctors that would like to support us.
Okay. But this Sunday is all about sleep. Sleep Sunday this Sunday.
Sleep. I found out something about sleep recently that's very fascinating.
Tell us all.
Right. We don't need more than 8 hours sleep. That's all. We don't, any more than that is too much. We should never get any less than 6, because your brain is detoxifying. It's brain fluid that detoxifies your brain. But I learned something, and it's called the glymphatic system. If you don't get 6 hours sleep, there's a glymphatic system that actually cleans out, it breaks down the protein in your brain that attaches to your nerve cells, your neuro cells, that actually create plaque, which is Alzheimer's. If you don't get, it's 4 phases of sleep. If you don't get the 3rd and 4th phase of sleep, those proteins do not get broken down, which creates plaque, amyloid plaque. Okay. Interesting, isn't it? So sleep.
Yeah.
No less than 6 hours, no more. Like 6 to 7 when you're over 60, 7 to 8 under 60.
Do you think your sister will tune in?
Oh, definitely. I mean, she's told me that I've saved her life. I think I have.
Glymphatic system.
She wouldn't be alive now, she says, if she hadn't have had that light and sound technology. And now with this transformation, Oh, she's actually starting her own business, which is huge. Yeah, the glymphatic system. There we go.
Yeah.
So that's she's living her life again. Yeah.
Okay. I'll share with you my experience of sleep deprivation. There was a time, once upon a time, some many years ago, because I'll tell it like a story, that I didn't sleep for 12 nights in a row. I had no sleep, and on the 13th night, I fell asleep after I cuddled a pink elephant. But I was on the go, non-stop, all day long, all night long for 13 days and 12 nights. And then eventually I flopped out exhausted and fell asleep for a day and a half.
What happened that you couldn't sleep?
had too much going on in my head and
Wow.
I was totally restless. As years went by, I was given the idea that this might have been an initiation into another world, into another dimension. But whether
Wow.
it was or it wasn't, but I have lived through that. And from that point onwards, if I didn't sleep for a night, I would get a bit agitated. But now I've reconciled with all of that and I sleep when I need to sleep. And sometimes
Great.
if I just need 3 hours in the middle of the day when it's time for me to sleep, I just sleep. And so I don't get hung up about any amount of nights if I've slept or not slept. I don't get hung up about any of it. I just be as it is. And if I don't sleep for a night, it's not going to bother me now, or 2 nights. It's I've obviously got a little project on that I'm enthusiastic about and that I want to keep on going. But I'm much more regulated than ever before. And of course, I do work on my nervous system quite a bit to be sure that it's not overly taxed in that way.
Yeah, but there are exceptions, Pauline, because my partner only sleeps 4 hours a night, but he sleeps like he's like a big rock. Peter is his name, like a rock. He just is completely gone. And I think that it's like 8 hours in 4, you know. So
All right.
yeah, yeah.
And I also don't dream.
Never.
I have no, for the last 30 years, I have no recollection of any dreams. So when I'm asleep, I'm totally asleep. When I'm awake, I'm totally awake. But that's it. I'm
Wow.
working on getting some more dreams, but at the moment is not there. Hasn't been for a long time. So that seems normal to me, even if it's not normal.
Wow. Wow.
So
That's a
it's
unique story.
fascinating that I'm on a show that's called Dreaming the New Dream. I'm going to get a dream one day.
I sent the invitation to my friend, and she says, "You're living the new dream," she says, which I thought was lovely. Yeah.
You
Excellent.
do realise, Paul, you can just go and program yourself and ask that you remember your dreams in the morning in a conscious understanding. So if I was to say, what time do you normally get up, by the way?
Who?
Pauline?
Me?
Me?
Yeah. What time do you normally get up?
Around sunrise.
Okay,
So
so
it depends on.
we're saying 6 o'clock. Okay, so let's just say, for example, you've got to go from Surrey and you got to go down to Cornwall, and so you decided you have to get up at 5 o'clock. So you go and set your bloody alarm clock for 5 o'clock.
Yeah. No point.
Yeah. So you're using your NLP techniques of dropping the eyes to see it. So you're moving into that format. Set it for 5 o'clock, and I guarantee you'll wake up 1 minute before 5 o'clock.
I can tell you, if I ever set an alarm, I always wake up half an hour beforehand.
Well,
always.
So
the last 20 years.
If you know you can do that, then you can ask for your dreams and ask that you get conscious understanding.
Okay. So I'm going to do it tonight. What shall I ask? I'm going to write it down to be sure I get it just so.
Well, you don't have to just whatever comes to your mind. So you just
please wake up in the morning with a consciousness of my dreams.
Well, clear consciousness.
Clear consciousness. Okay. Well, there you go. There's a whole new experiment that's just started with sleep right now with me.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's good. Maybe you should both come on the Sunday evening.
Well, I might come on Sunday just to let you know how I got on today. If I just ask myself to get rid of all the stories that say I don't remember my dreams, which I don't know what that's all about, but we can get rid of that story, whatever it is, and wake up in the morning.
No different to asking for a car park. No different to asking for a car park. You manifest a car park.
Well, I do that very easily. When I want a car parking space, I just ask for a car parking space, and it has always worked. Always always for the last 30 or so years.
The parking angel, they call it. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that, but yeah, we go with that as well. Or I asked my Auntie Maureen. Auntie Maureen's exceptional. And then, when my mum went over that side, I'd ask my mum, have you got a parking space for me, please? And off you go. There it is. I only want one. I don't want huge. Just give me one.
All right.
So we'll go with that.
Janette, it's been a pleasure to have you here all the way from
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. I feel honoured. Yeah, really great.
Now then, before you don't jump out, go onto the private chat and give us your email address, and I'll send you the URL link for the YouTube link. You can
Yes.
use
Yeah. What do I need to do? Did you say?
See on the right hand side, there's a thing called private chat. So just go there and put your email address, and I'll send you the landscape and I'll send you the vertical portrait style. So then you can share it however you want.
Okay.
Anyway, without further ado, Pauline, Priti Pauline.
Thank you very, very much. It's been a bit of a it's been a laugh. It's been a great storytelling time today. Thank you very much, Jeff, and thank you, Janette, for joining us. Great. So
thank you very much. Lovely to meet you both.
Okay, got it. All right, love you.
Bye bye.
Love you too.
Sleep well, Jeff.